Africa has been identified to be particularly vulnerable to climate change due to the combination of a highly variable climate. It is among the most variable in the world on intra-seasonal to interdecadal timescales, mainly due to high resilience or rain-fed agriculture. The world on intra-seasonal to interdecadal timescales, mainly to high reliance on rain-fed agriculture and limited economic and institutional capacity to cope with climate change, and Nigeria's agriculture is vulnerable to climate-related stressors. It affects the ability of natural capital, which is the main source of income and livelihoods for the majority of Nigerians, to deliver its wide range of products and services, including food, fodder, timber, and the regulation of water cycles. This is Improved Seats on ARCN Television. I am Hilda Homsem Fantuam. We'll be right back with the launching of the Ricowas project held recently in Abuja with the focus of producing resilient rice production in Nigeria. Let's watch.
Of climate resilient rice production in West Africa, Ricowas project in Nigeria. I, as the chairman of the National Steering Committee of Ricowas project in Nigeria, and members of the committee do welcome you all to this important event. Ricowas project was developed to improve the climate change resilience and increase rice system productivity of smallholder farmers across West Africa. The project aims at improving and scaling up the system of rice intensification and sustainable land and water management in West Africa, building on the SRIWAP regional project results. Distinguished participants, the project is implemented at a regional level by the Sahara and Sahel Observatory, financed by the adaptation of fund and implemented in the 13 ECOWAS countries. Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria has been identified to be implementing the project activities in Nigeria. The broad objective of Ricowas projects is to improve the climate change resilience and increase rice system productivity of smallholder farmers across West Africa using a climate resilient rice production approach. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ricowas project execution is through the mandate of the National Steering Committee, which has the role of overseeing the project planning, ensuring coordination with other initiatives in the country, and ensuring correct execution of project according to project document. The National Project Implementation Unit, led by the National Coordinator, is in charge with the responsibility of implementing the project activities in the country. The project was launched at a regional level in Bamako, Mali, on 16 to 18 January 2023. 2 participants from each of the 13 countries attended the event. Other participants were from the regional level, including representatives from the Adaptation Fund, CORAF, and Cornell University. To follow up the footsteps of the regional body today, Ricowas project is being launched in Nigeria. This event kickstarts the implementation of the project activities. 5 states, namely Jigawa, Niger, Nasarawa, Gombe, and Ebonyi, were earmarked for implementation of the project activities. The project is planned to strengthen the capacity of institutions that cut across policies, research, extension, seed and farmer groups to deliver climate resilient rice production to farmers for adaptation to increase their productivity. The project will also assist rice farmers with improved seeds, organic fertilizer, and small machineries to raise productivity of their farmlands to improve their livelihood. The project is indeed intended to create communication platforms where rice stakeholders can be interacting to address various challenges of rice production across the entire West Africa region. I would like to plead with all rice stakeholders all over the country to please cooperate and support us to effectively deliver the project goals of reaching 30,000 farmers in the next 4 years. Before I conclude and declare this meeting open, I wish to reiterate this fact that food security is one of the agenda of Mr. President, and rice is one of the value chain that the policy of the ministry is pursuing. On this note, rice production has become a very important commodity for us to cultivate, and that is why the government is giving it much attention. On this note, I once again welcome you all to this launching and wish you a successful deliberation.
Down the ladder, we have Regional Center of Rice, Regional Center of Excellence for Rice, the one that was developed through WAP, also continued through WATI and FSRP. That center is the Regional Center for Rice across West Africa. It's going to coordinate the project at the regional level. We have Cornell University and CORAP as technical partners of the project. Then down the ladder also, we have all the countries and institutions that are actually implementing the project in their own various countries. In Nigeria, ARCN is implementing the project in Nigeria. Then down the ladder, you can see stakeholders, private sector, local extension workers, universities, NGOs, women, youth, all other farmers. Those are the stakeholders that we are going to be used in implementing the project. Next slide. Indicators. Those indicators, they are going to be used to measure whether the project succeeds or not. One of them is rice farmers, how many rice farmers you train, how many business plans you develop, studies develop, nurseries, because the project is actually based on transplanting. So how many nurseries of rice you actually establish? What of local composting unit, because the project is promoting use of organic manure. So how many local composting unit you actually establish? Scientific article published, knowledge product disseminated, farmers number of adopting CRP, among others, hectares actually under CRP. All these are indicators that are going to be measured the success and failure of the project. Next slide.
Even in the extent of financial inclusion, it is the smallholder farmers that we basically put our attention to. Recently, we have been engaging the cooperative department. We want to see how we can bring in a lot of cooperatives into our fold. On this note, I just want to give you assurance that the Bank of Agriculture is ready and prepared to give you support.
For the second time. We bring you good message from the medium and small-scale rice millers association of Nigeria on the occasion for the launch of the Ricowas project. Maxman is an association that is spread all over the 36 states of the country, where our members are processing rice to feed the nation. You will agree with me that there is something that is very common among the medium and small millers across the country. We are available almost in every community. We are accessible to almost everybody at the community level, and our rice is also affordable. And in the fight against food insecurity, availability, accessibility, and affordability is a key component. There cannot be a better time than now to launch a project like Ricowas, because we are at the point that production on certain things are growing. We cannot predict when we have the rain, we cannot predict when it will start, and we cannot predict when it will stop. And if we look at some of the prediction, as far as Nigeria is concerned, the first West Season Production Report last year predicted that the cost of paddy will increase by 36% in 2024. And if you look at where we are going, I think we're already heading there. A kg of paddy today is between 430 to 450 naira. It shows that something must be done, to increase our production. And if you also look at the prediction from the United States Department for Agriculture, they have also projected that Nigeria will import 2.3 million metric tons of paddy into the country if we must meet our demand for rice consumption. And another negative report also from the Food and Agriculture Organization said that about 2.6 million Nigerians in Borno, Sokoto, Zamfara, FCT may be food insecure. And the last one that is also very worrying is from the United Nations Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, where they are projected that about 26.5 million Nigerians may face food crisis in 2024. All of this one calls for concerted effort to ensure that all of these negative predictions about Nigerians are reversed. And there cannot be a better project more than Ricowas. Because it's not just about going to the farm to produce. You need to be sure what the weather predictions are to ensure that we have the required aid. As MassMan, we want to pledge our commitment and full support. Whatever role that will be assigned to us as far as this project, we implement it to the land.
Towards the attainment of our determined contribution, the national determined contribution by the year 2030, which we did agree, or we agree for ourselves as a country to cut the emission of greenhouse gases by 20% unconditionally, and by 47% conditionally, that is by the support of international communities. I'm happy that Adaptation Fund is the backbone of this program. I'm particularly happy because you are able to access this. But it's not easy. The funds have been there for quite a long time, but not all the organizations even know about it. And even those that know about it are hardly, have the what word do I use? They don't really know how to assess it. It is very, very commendable that this research institute is able to get through and get this funding. I really commend you, sir. And want to assure you, on behalf of my department in particular and the ministry in general, we will continue to partner with you in this and will always continue to do the best we can so that we progress further
to achieve the renewed mandate towards attaining the food security agenda of our honorable minister. As far as National Agricultural Seed Council is concerned, we believe that for us to succeed in this project, seed is very key. We continue to do our best towards ensuring the certification, coordination, and delivery of high-quality seed to local farmers. Yesterday, my acting Director General was with the Honorable Minister at ET International Studio. I listened to the program. My Director General said that the work of the National Agri-Seed Council starts from where the Research Council stops. So with our continued collaboration with the Research Institute, we believe that we are going to achieve a lot as far as this project is concerned. And we believe that local farmers will also be able to access rice varieties that will be able to tolerate our diverse weather conditions.
Not only design, but ensure the success of the project, especially those that are funded from outside. To God be the glory, we have been able to attract this project, and today we are launching its implementation. A clear indication from those that are here that we are starting on the right footing. Number one, the chairman of the steering committee was well selected because of his vast understanding of linkages as far as relationship between the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Environment, as well as the global international funding bodies. And that is why we specifically decided that the Director, Planning and Policy Coordination, who knows all the rules and regulations, who protects linkages in the ministry, was selected to be the chairman of the steering committee and approved by the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Food Security. Secondly, we looked at the important role that the Bank of Agriculture is going to play, because eventually, when we look at the indicators, we found out that we should be able to come up with farmers. Farmers that are going to practice this agriculture based on the training they will receive. We believe so much in the capacity of the Bank of Agriculture to actually give us that support and give the farmers the support for them to be able to stand on their own. Because giving certification to farmers alone does not, or to individuals, does not make them farmers. It is their ability to go out there and practice that is surely going to make the difference. Massman, again, is a very, very important organization to us, because as far as we are concerned, they are our foot soldiers in the research institute. They tell us how good it is. They tell us about the constraints. They also tell us what to do in order to succeed. Massman, by our own understanding, are not just into production, they are also into processing. And discussion with Massman has also shown us that as long as we cannot produce more, the prices of foodstuff will continue to rise and rise and rise. Today, the most important concern of President Bola Tinubu is to make sure that there is food on the table. By Karikiari, our minister, he said we must come together and see what we can do to make sure that the prices of foodstuff continue to nosedive. Today, we cannot understand the pattern if we do not bring in organizations like Massman and RIFA, because the processors, if they do not have the party, they will definitely not be able to do things. One of the secrets I may like to expose here today is that there are members who are processors. Apart from being large in number, they also have to undertake the search for paddy. Paddy is the raw material for them to be able to produce this rice we are bagging. And today, even amongst us civil servants, when you do not give rice to people, they feel that you have not given them food. Now, in order for them to live above board, like I said, they will look for paddy. It's either from those of us that are farming, or they have to move outside this country to the Cameroons to go and look for paddy to process. And that is why one of the policies of the Abubakar Kyari-led ministry is to make sure that all our research institutes, the universities, the polytechnics that have ample land will be encouraged to go into farming. To the 33 research institutes and colleges of agriculture under the purview of the ministry, to make sure that they earmark land within their own premises, however small it is, to get ready for the rainy season farming for 2024. I want to assure you that this program is not just going to benefit the farmers. We are also going to target researchers and would-be farmers, those that are interested in farming. We are also going to actually involve retiring civil servants, those that want to go into agriculture. A special place will be placed for them to make sure that their retirement benefit does not just go into the blank. We'll make sure that anybody who is retiring will be registered on this program, and he will continue to be having programs. You can see that in reviewing or amending the law that established the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, a special place was made, or a provision was made for spin-off companies. These spin-off companies are expected to encourage the production of not only rice, but other food items. So this is a step taken deliberately by the ministry to make sure that all of us are engaged in farming. Glory be to God, the government has given us the opportunity to recruit. We have recruited young ones for our directors. These young ones are not just meant to pass files from one place to the other. Any of them under your department that thinks that he is not going to go outside into the bush can easily come to you to say, this work has surpassed my power. So it is left for you to make sure that the younger ones that are recruited are directed to go where they are supposed to go. Those in fisheries must be conversant with the problems of fishermen and fish processors from within this environment. Those in plants must appreciate the problems of farmers in this environment. It is after they grow at that level that we'll now begin to post them out as supervisors. Now, they are just like recruits and interns. After a year or two, believe you me, Masman, we will be sending our people to go in there and be seeing what you are doing, because it is only on that condition that we will come to appreciate your problems. The Ministry of Environment is dear to us. And like many of us will say, for God so loved the world, the last or the former Minister of Agriculture left environment to agriculture. And I think ever since then, the relationship between us started developing. I know specifically I had to send a team to the Department of Climate Change. They held discussion, and they brought back a lot of possibilities. This year, before the end of the first quarter, we'll begin to send proposals to you. And where you have the funding, you help us. Where we have to go to finance, we'll do these things together, just like we are doing with the Seed Council. We may have to know today that last week, the Director, Plant Resources, was in a meeting of Variety Release Committee. And we have had some rice varieties, about 2 of them, that are released. And they are released for the purpose of making sure that our rice farmers have varieties that will key into the climate change issue, that will increase productivity. I want to again welcome all of us and to emphasize the fact that we must know what our neighbors are doing. We must know what our colleagues are doing. We must know what the private sector are doing. I want to commend the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Minister, and all our directors in the ministry for the new phase of relationship between the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, the departments in the ministry, and the encouragement they are giving us to partner with all of us. You are welcome, and thank you very much.
Achievements made in rice revolutions in Africa. Nigeria, of course, in Africa. And it is a welcome development for Ricowas and for us to really, as players, to appreciate the efforts of every stakeholders in this journey. And the journeys ahead, of course, we know is not a play. And we in Rifon, as a matter of fact, we are ready to be in this part of our crusade. Thank you.
Welcome back. Using a climate resilient rice production approach, CRRP, Ricowas project was developed to improve the climate change resilience and increase rice system productivity of smallholders farmers across West Africa. The project aims at improving and scaling up the system of rice intensification, CRI, and sustainable land and water management, SLWM, in West African buildings on the CRWAP regional project results. Keep watching more of our programs to be informed on happenings within the agricultural sector and beyond. I am Hilda Homsen Fantuam saying bye and take good care of yourself.